Thank you, Senator Murkowski, and thank you to the organizers for hosting this event. It's great to be here. It's a wonderful opportunity to learn and to share. You know, Alaskans have a great deal in common with our neighbors in the north. It's not just geography and weather, but it's also culture and economy. You know, with man-made changes to climate and a growing world economy, the Arctic is becoming a place that is increasingly relied on to connect, to inspire, and to sustain the world. In these few moments, I'd like to talk about the important dimensions of Alaska's blue economies, and I'll be touching on shipping, tourism, and ocean products, and along the way, showcase a few Alaskan innovations. You know, Arctic shipping routes are emerging, and most come by or through Alaska waters. In this photo here, you're seeing transits through the Bering Sea in 2018 so far this year. In 2009, there were 262 transits, and last year there were 360. So traffic is growing. This map was provided to us by the Marine Exchange of Alaska, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit. The Marine Exchange of Alaska is an example of Alaska innovation supporting our blue economy, helping to safely grow maritime traffic in and through Alaskan waters. The Juneau-based Alaska Maritime Exchange is unique in that it can provide active monitoring and management along a network of 130 radios covering 3.8 million square kilometers in Alaska. The only thing comparable elsewhere is 250,000 square miles in the Australian barrier reefs. In addition to tracking vessels, which is critically important, the Marine Exchange also can transmit information, and they transmit safety information, warnings, weather data, tidal information, tidal currents, virtual buoys, locations of whalers. It also alerts when vessels are entering or speeding in whale-protected areas, when there are breakdowns or vessels come too close to shore. It's an example of an outstanding partnership between federal, state, and private actors. Inspiration. Much of the traffic in our waters comes from visitors seeking inspiration in Alaska. Alaska receives 2 million visitors a year. It makes us comparable to Iceland, growing perhaps even more quickly than we are. The industry represents $5 billion in activities and a leading source of employment. And most of the growth of the visitors, come to Alaska via cruise ships. And we're experiencing extremely strong growth in the cruise industry worldwide as well as in Alaska. And here you see some of the incredible growth worldwide. 26 new cruise ships, were brought on board this last year, increasing capacity worldwide by 5%. Total passengers grew by 4% worldwide, and Alaska cruise passengers grew by 7% in 2018, and will grow by another 17% in 2019 to about 1.4 million visitors next year. And one of the innovations in Alaska is that we have the Norwegian Bliss. It's a Alaska-built ship, purpose-built for the Alaska cruise market. And in the far north, we're seeing the expedition cruising with small cruise numbers. The numbers are small on small cruise ships. The numbers are relatively small, but they continue to grow. Far north cruising represents 0.2% of the cruise market in Alaska. You know, the small cruise operators are also bringing innovations. In Alaska, they've created the Alaska Awakening, which is led by Uncruise, an operator in Alaska. They understand the changing travelers and their needs. They want to touch, not just see. They're willing to go further and experiencing more varying conditions. And so Alaska Awakening brings visitors earlier in the season and increasing the positive impacts of tourism on local communities. And our ocean products. These sustain us. Our ocean industry adds $5 billion to our economy. We export 1 million metric tons of ocean harvest each year, making us the 7th largest producer of seafood, more than any other state combined. Innovation in this sector, it dates back thousands of years. In this photo, you see a picture of Thomas George baiting a traditional halibut hook. The Alaska State Committee on Research inducted the halibut hook into the Innovators Hall of Fame last year, the first time a non-person was given that distinction. And this design of this halibut hook allows for, it only captures medium-sized halibut, which allows for greater sustainability in those harvests. Mariculture and innovation is an incredible opportunity that we have here in Alaska. The state and the private industry have identified an industry that should grow to $100 million over the next 20 years. Here you see Matt Kern and Leah Heifetz of Barnacle Seafood. They're sustainably harvesting kelp and turning it into salsa. And my very last example of innovation in Alaska is a small company, Tidal Vision. They started, Craig Kasberg and Zach Wilkinson started taking salmon skins and converting them into wallets. And now they've moved to chitosan, which is a product that comes from the chitin from discarded crab shells and converting a waste stream into a product. They're the only company in the United States that produces chitosan, and they do this without any chemical waste stream. It's a product that is emerging in many dimensions. One interesting one is its antimicrobial qualities make it a wonderful ingredient in the common kitchen sponge. So, thank you very much.